Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Go gang.
Man, former co-hosts of the Joe Budden podcast, Rory and Mal, are laughing all the way to the bank, and Joe Budden has responded, and it seems like he's very salty about them announcing a new $10 million deal. Now, if you guys don't remember this, but it was a tumultuous breakup. Rory and Mal pretty much accusing Joe Budden's of, leaving them out of different business meetings and things like that, and ultimately saying that their opinion wasn't valued, by the team, to say the least. And now the other day, they pretty much, did an interview with Vulture where they pretty much, reiterate what I just said to you. Like, man, like, they're happy that they got the new deal, and they're moving forward. Now, here's what Mal said, right? He said there were a lot of things he wanted to do in the old show that we weren't able to do because we just didn't have much control for a while. And he told Vulture that during the interview the other day. Now, looking back, that was the beginning of the end. Honestly, all that started when every time we wanted to try something, the energy around it was like, I don't know, despite the fact this is our show. You know what I mean? He also went on to say, and that there was a lot of business meetings that were happening we didn't know about. Coming out of all that, that was a blessing, because now it's literally just Rory and myself having conversations about what we want creatively and what we want to do. Stuff that before would have not seen the light of day just because the energy around it was just like, I don't know, let's think about it, let's come back to that. And yes, let's try it, let's do it. Now, with Rory and myself, he goes on to say it can all happen freely. Now, pretty much, they're pretty much saying that Joe Budden, put up on his Instagram earlier today, in black, that they'll question your character once you stop taking care of them. And I think this is part of Joe's downfall, and first and foremost, Rory and Mal, congratulations to them for breaking down more barriers, kicking down more doors in the podcasting world, getting a $10 million, an estimated $10 million deal. And like I said, this is all opening up doors for other people. The bar keeps getting set higher and higher, just like, in the NFL, when a quarterback or a tight end or somebody like that, was signed for a bigger deal. That means the next person that comes up, would have to get a bigger deal, because you're only going to be, weighing it by what the previous, duo or trio of people in the same genre that you do, got. So here's my thing with this, and I really underestimated this situation, because one thing we can't do, we can look at Joe Budden and we can look at his star power, and we can all sit back and say, yeah, it says Joe Budden show, blase, and we love that, and we think that Joe's the star, which was the case in a lot. And the analogy that I'll make is like the Breakfast Club. Like, some people think that Charlamagne's the best, some people think DJ Envy's the best, some people think that Angela Yee's the best, and that's your perfect prerogative. You can have your favorite, but at the end of the day, they work together as a cohesive unit to deliver the news, to do interviews, to interview your favorite celebrity, sports figure, politician, etc., etc. So that's just like one of them. If one of them leaves the podcast, or one leaves and they split apart and go do their thing, we can't gauge how the people are going to flock. That's something that's underestimated. And what we seen was that the people flocked to Rory and Mal even more so than the Joe Budden podcast right now. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like Rory and Mal, went out of the stratosphere after they left. I mean, a $10 million deal, crazy views, and I don't really watch Joe Budden. I don't watch any podcast really, except our own, but I don't have time to really watch that. I just kind of record it and edit and get up out of there. But, when you're talking about, you guys are going to have to help me with this. Like, whose podcast right now is doing better numbers? Did Joe Budden's podcast suffer after Rory and Mal left? Let me know if you guys, I definitely want to hear what you guys got to say in the comments. I know you guys definitely informed on that particular thing, but we can't gauge how the people are going to feel. Now, I'm not saying this is the end of Joe Budden. He probably can go on to do better things, but it just seems to me like this is a pattern for him. Like, he'll get something going. It'll be a grandiose idea. It'll be great for a while. He'll move the needle forward, and then it's like things will just fall apart. He'll start getting the fallouts with people, just that and the third. And next thing you know, like, it's ended and it moved on, and these guys moved on. Now, I don't care what anybody says, man. If you fall out with anybody on bad terms, and they go and they, blow you out of the water, get a bigger deal than you got, you're going to feel some type of way. Hence, Joe Budden's Instagram story the other day, kind of trying to say, look, man, like, I took care of you dudes, boom, 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 whatever. These dudes moved on. And I think it was a suppression thing. And I really think, honestly, that Joe Budden didn't value those dudes. I think that Joe Budden thought that he could just put anybody in that place. And just because I'm Joe Budden, people are coming for me. He underestimated the effectiveness and how the people actually rocked with Rory and Mal. He really underestimated that. And I think he's going to suffer a little bit from that decision, like cutting people out of business meetings, things like that. That's not cool to do, especially if you guys are talking about a partnership where you guys are, I'm not sure what the breakdown was, but obviously they're saying they were partners in this thing. They wanted their voice to be heard. They wanted to, have creative input in the show, and he took it as if like, this is my joint. I can replace you dudes any day. And we seen that happen with other podcasts where people will come on, and they will come on and the show will pop and the people will love it, and then we have a falling out with them and say, look, this is my show, I don't need you. Next thing you know, the ratings fall and they got to go scramble and start copying other people's formula and whatnot and do other things to try to keep themselves afloat, simply because people ain't really there for you. And that's one thing, obviously you got people that love you, but you got to understand the business model and what people are tuning in for. And I think Joe Budden terribly, in my opinion, I could be wrong, terribly miscalculated the effect of those two, individuals leaving the show. And here's the last thing I'm gonna say, man. It has to be a team, right? Teamwork is everything. And your team, the morale has to be high. You guys have to be all working together to achieve the goal. You have to, if the offensive lineman comes to the quarterback and suggests something, the quarterback don't go, man, you just the offensive lineman, shut up and block. Or tight end, shut up and catch. Or the running back, shut up and run. Nah, okay, you see it from a different perspective. Let's try this. That's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the teams that achieve championships and Super Bowls are the teams that can work together, put their egos and things to the side. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is a $400 million quarterback at the end of the day, but he's nothing without his offensive line. He's nothing without Tyreek Hill. He's nothing without Andy Reid. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is all this works in unison. It works together as a team. And if your team is not on the same page, if there's ulterior motives, you see breakups and things like this. So, and it's not easy. And anytime you're in a group, you got to deal with egos. You got to deal with different people. You got a team, people, you hire people. You got to deal with things, people, and all types of things. But, I think the most successful people are the ones that know how to manage things, put things in the right perspective, value their employees, and keep them working together until you get to, sometimes it's inevitable, it has to break up. But the smartest people, I think, know how to, keep the employees happy, keep the partners happy, you know what I mean? And if need be, to replace them, with somebody who can do a better job than them. And I don't think Joe Budden done that at the time. But hey, man, we live and we learn. He's been successful thus far in his life. But I'm gonna digress. What do you guys think about this particular situation right here? Do you think Joe Budden is struggling without them too? How do you feel about Rory and Mal getting a $10 million deal? Drop them comments. Also, you already know, man, smash the like button. And make sure you guys subscribe to Hip Hop News Uncensored. It's very easy. Click the button on the screen right there. It takes a split second. You don't even have to stop watching the video to do it. And a couple more announcements before I get up out of here, man. The website is hiphopun.com. That's hiphop, the letter UN.com, for all your official hip-hop news. We got the podcast, man. You can find that anywhere podcasts are found. And we got the merch. We on social media. Anything that you're looking for, anything that I just announced, journey down into the description box right below where you see Rory, Mal, and Joe's picture, and you can find all of that merch, social media, website, all of that is conveniently located right down below, so you won't miss a thing that I just said, man. Like I said, go ahead and fire away them comments. Fire away. Fire away. Let me hear what you guys got to say. Smash the like button. And if you get a second, man, go ahead and share this video. Share it on your Facebook timeline real quick. Text it to somebody. Email it to somebody. I definitely appreciate you guys. Man, this your boy Orgum and Hip Hop News. This is the Vibe. Subscribe. Peace.